What's up, guys? Welcome back to JodabeniTV. Today's another amazing day to get after it, and we're going to be better today than we were yesterday. And for today's video, we're going to be talking with Anthony Velarde, and he's going to be telling us a little bit of his story on how he has signed professionally and where he is at right now.
What's up, guys? My name is Anthony Velarde. I say it again just in case. I'm from Reedley, California, 30 minutes south from Fresno, California, the bigger city in the Central Valley. I started playing like a lot of people, man. My dad put me in. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother that both played soccer as well. And so, it was, my dad put us in there. He played soccer his whole life. I mean, he played in Mexico. Then we transitioned to come in the United States, and he just kept us around the ball. We lived in Los Angeles at the time, so we would always go to this park where he would just take us, and we'd literally just go and play free ball. We're just going past the ball, kick the ball, get to the goal and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
And he started putting us to clubs in LA. And from there, we just started, playing here and there like any normal person. No dreams of anything, no dreams of professional, just having fun with it at that time. And from there, we transitioned from LA. We had more family in Reedley, California, which then we transitioned over here when I was about 10 years old. And then played in club here, played in California Odyssey most of my years. And they had an academy team here. I would play there like a year or two. And then I had my high school. I went to Reedley High School. So from there, I didn't really know what I was gonna do after high school, to be honest. I was pretty good, but at the same time, I had no connections. I didn't really have anybody to like put my name out there. And plus I was from a really small town that no one really knew. So it was tough. I mean, I got very lucky that my older brother actually went to Fresno Pacific University, a small D2 school from Fresno here.
And were you playing on academy when you were in high school, or did you play with the high school team?
So at the time, there was like this weird little bubble where you couldn't do both at the same time. You probably heard about that.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember that? It was weird. I see people hate. I mean, I didn't like it. It was horrible. I missed 2 years of high school because of that. So I played my freshman year with my brother. Thankfully, missed my sophomore and junior year to play for the academy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last year, I was just like, I'm gonna play my high school. I gotta finish. I gotta do at least my senior year. So and that went well. My senior year, I had fun. I enjoyed it. Loved that. And then, but after that, I was stuck. I had nothing. I had no offers, no nothing. And so, like I said, I was fortunate that my older brother Eric he attended that school, because we knew the head coach there, Jaime Ramirez. So we found a connection there, and I went there, and I, like any other player at my age, we thought I was. You feel so big when you're doing so well in your small little world, and then you go into the big world and it smacks you across the face and you realize where you're really at. It's a competitive game that you need to really hone in on. But going from there at Fresno Pacific, played 4 years there. Played 1 year again with my older brother, thankfully, and there played 3 more years. I graduated in 2018 of the fall semester.
A lot of kids that I've seen noticeably from in high school, a lot of them feel like if I'm really good at my school, I don't need to work as hard. But they forget that you're only as good as the 50 kids in your district. Yeah. But if you look at the spectrum, once you go to university, you're competing against everybody else in the States who are trying to get that scholarship and not even worried about signing professionally yet. So there's a big competition.
Big, and I think that's where they fall out or they give up, and because they're in what's that saying, you're something fish in a small pond or something like that.
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of people get scared of that, and I don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody goes through those feelings, but it's whoever has that mindset to just continue to climb and to have that workhorse mentality to just grind it, and that's what I had. I mean, that's a lot of players that make it, mostly all of them have it,
So moving from your academy team in high school to your college team, what was the biggest difference in terms of play style? Like, I know in the academy, you guys, I don't know if you were a good team, and then when you came to the university, was it a hard transition? Was it a faster pace? What was the biggest difference that you noticed?
From academy to college, right?
Yes.
From academy, I mean, at that time you're playing, what the biggest difference for me was the age gap of when I entered. I was 18 years old, and you have people from internationals coming at 20, 21, 20, even 24, up to 24 years old. And you're like talking about 5-year age difference right there now. like you're still a kid to you're facing a man at this point, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, that was one of the bigger transitions that I've always had throughout. I've never been a big guy. So I've always grew very slowly. And I think that was, for me personally, was the physicality of it and the speed of it and the quickness of just how fast they were moving. And obviously with the ball speeding, moving even faster than that, you know, that the game was just moving too quick. And I think that for me was the biggest transition. I just had to work, and I had to really just grind in those tougher times when things aren't going well. I just had to grind and stick through it, and just have a strong mentality to just honestly just keep pursuing. Because at the end of the day, if I gave up, there's no one's gonna tell me that to keep going. You know, I
Yeah,
was only
that's
relying on
true.
myself. You know, I thankfully I had brothers that I played with throughout my whole life, which I was very thankful for. So I always had people to train with and stuff like that. But still, I mean, it's tough to keep going when things are going well. Before I even go too far, before I even got to I didn't have the money to get to Pittsburgh before I even start the story. I didn't get enough money. I had nothing, you know. My family was a working class family. They worked very hard to give us everything they could give us, you know. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about $2,000 for a college kid, like, who's
Yeah.
really good? I mean, unless you're rolling cash from the bank or you're doing some
Yeah.
crazy stuff, then
The
I mean, I couldn't
Charles.
afford that. You know, I couldn't afford that. So it was like the traveling cost was just absurd. So
Mm-hmm.
I was working with this family where I was training this girl. Her name is Abby. I was training, and this family actually offered to pay for my flight. Her name is Jennifer. A very, very beautiful, nice family. I love them. They paid for everything, took care of me to get my child there.
So, from your college to playing professionally, how was that? How did you manage to secure the ultimate bag that all of the soccer players are chasing?
Oh, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to. If I'm being honest with you, you know, after college, I did well. I did really well. It was where I ended up like still, and I was D2 level, right? So I was
Mm-hmm.
I was assist leader in all D2 schools. That in my senior year, I had multiple goals and stuff. So my stats were blown up, you know. And at that
Mm-hmm.
point, that's really what matters in college, which kind of sucks, but it's just the reality of it. Um, Unless you go to bigger schools, D1, where maybe scouts come and watch you when you have bigger teams. But for me, who's gonna come watch this small D2 school? I know,
Yeah.
you know, it's a tough situation at that point. And so I did well in it. So I was, I guess, fortunate enough to get like, I got Charlotte Independent to send me just an open trial, not an invite trial. Sorry, it was an
Mm-hmm.
invite trial it was Charlotte Independent sent one, and then Pittsburgh Riverhound sent one. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to choose from the two. My coach forwarded me those emails, and I don't know what impacted me or whatever came to just. I said, I don't think I'm gonna go to Charlotte. That's not the city that I don't know. I just didn't. I've never been to the East Coast, by the way, ever in
Mm-hmm.
my life. I've only stayed in the West Coast. I've never even left California, to be honest. I've only lived in California, Central Valley, and from there we just went on and we contacted the assistant coach Dan Visser there at Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He then contacted my coach and then me to send us the info and stuff like that. And then my trip there was crazy. I mean, it's like a 5-6 hour flight, 3 hour difference and stuff that I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know about. But at that time, I was still a young kid that never left, you
Yeah.
know. And so I had to get a flight at 6 in the morning in San Francisco. Had to drive there from at 12 in the middle of the night, drove there at just crack of dawn. Had to get my flight there. Landed like at 3, bro. Landed at 3 at the airport. Had to get an Uber to my hotel. You know, like had to get an Uber to my hotel. That was like a 30-minute, because it was from the airport. Where the airport in Pittsburgh is pretty far out from the city. And the
Yeah.
city's like, so we had to drive all the way there. I didn't get back to like 5 o'clock. And my trial was the next day, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
Still had to get food. Didn't even get enough water. It was, you know, it's a fiasco. And I was there alone. So, you know, bro, it was something completely new. I went to obviously the next day, went to that trial. And then there was like, you just see heads, like 60 people there. It's like, you know, you feel so small. It's just like, damn, you know, like, but at the end of the day, you got to just believe in yourself and just, you know, just like I said, you got to just keep training, keep grinding, and just keep pushing forward. And that's the mentality I had. And when I went to the trial, that's what I had. And honestly, I had a pretty blessed trial where my first day was kind of average, where I did all right in the mornings. We had 2 sessions. We had one in the morning. We had one in the afternoon. My morning one, we did some technical stuff, some crossing stuff. So it was an all right first session. The second one, all we did was play. I did all right, did some stuff, and then last 10 minutes I scored 2 goals. Boom, hit one upper
Oh.
V. I cut some kid and I finished. So that's how I ended the first trial. So I was like, okay, I finished at a good note. The second day comes around. The head coach actually comes to the locker room, just changing and stuff. Head coach Bob Lilly comes to just talk to me. Dan Vister he's a really good friend of mine, and Bob as well. We both have good relationship with them, man. But Dan Vister's really the one that really pushed me, And like I said, I've been blessed in my life where people have opportunities. Because even how then fast forward to everything I just talked about. Fast forward to the second day, so coach came and talked to me. I then just went on with my day. He went on with the trial. He goes, "Yeah, we want to see more of you. We saw some things we like, but we want to see more." And so it was good to hear. Good to hear that he had some positive things, but also motivating to. I need to do a little more, right? Push myself a bit more.
Yeah.
So the second day comes around. I don't start that first game, and this is only one trial now, so it's just morning, all games. I don't start. They're playing whatever. 10, 15 minutes go by. At this time it's snowing. It's freezing. Never been around the snow in my life. So I go in. My toes are frozen, bro. Everything. Andrew, I come in. Some guy crosses. As soon as I come in, bro, I take a touch inside the box. Boom, finish. My first 2 touches, bro, goal. So I was like, perfect timing. I go again. After that, I'm running with confidence at that point. What sealed the deal was my last goal. I think the ball came into their 18. It popped off. I was on the outside of the 18. I'm facing away from the goal now. I see my striker there. Defender's pressuring me. I flick it with we call and like Mexicans we call it tancosito. It's like a little back heel flick, So I flick it to him without even looking at it. Flick it. I turn around. He does a 1-2 with me. Take a touch inside the box and I bang it in. That's the last play. Trial ends. And then obviously we win that game, our team, and so we go back. He talks to us, and then he calls me in after. Everybody's pretty much going home. I'm just chilling there because they offered me to give me a ride to the airport. So at this point I was waiting 3-4 hours just at the stadium. So I was chilling. They were being very nice. I was having a great time. So I couldn't. So I just stayed along there, and then he comes and talks to me, and he tells me, "Yeah, we like you. We might bring you on to preseason, or we might even sign you right there." He was telling me he's a very honest guy. He's telling me most likely we'll sign you, but we don't know for sure yet. Obviously, right then and there, I call my head coach. I'm like, I don't know anything about anything. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm telling you, bro, I'm just a player that literally I wanted something, but had no idea how was I gonna, do everything else. The contract, everything. I didn't know anything, bro. I just knew how to play soccer, and that was pretty much it. From then on, a week later passes by. He sent me a contract, bro. I feel like you don't really, it doesn't hit you until you get to the final point to realize everything you've done, even those 5 o'clock training sessions, 10 o'clock training sessions of you're doing individual stuff. It's just all that stuff finally paid off, bro. And I feel like everything hit me all at once,
Just like how they say Usain Bolt trained over 15 years for that 9-second race.
9 second, bro.
So your first team was Pittsburgh, and then currently, what team are you playing for right now?
So currently, right now, I'm with the League One team, Central Valley Fuego.
That's a new team, right?
Yeah, new team from home. So I'm from here. So
that's perfect.
Bro. They started here. So it was a blessing, bro. It was a dream come true of mine.
Because they're in League One and Pittsburgh was in a USL Championship, how would you compare the difference in the speed of play or anything? Is there a big difference between the two leagues, or is there a lot of similarities?
I feel like there's a good amount of similarities for sure. I mean, I think every player that plays in League One or League Two are high-level players, So I think that's the same. Now, the different part about it is sometimes teams can be a lot more organized. It's a lot more physical, right? Where it's a lot crispier. Nobody makes mistakes. Like over there, like there was times where I'm like running for 15 minutes and I'm like, bro, am I ever gonna touch the ball today? And like it's that hard where these players are that good. They're at different levels, And I think League One has for sure good players, they have very good players. But I think it's just more of that next level kind of play, that it's just crispier, cleaner, it's sharper, and the team just moves better. It's just another level, and it's
so pretty much like
for sure.
high, like it's definitely professional, but like the higher you climb, the more professionalism each league becomes. So you thought these were pros, they're pros 100%. And then the 100%. Next, it's even cleaner, and there's less room for mistakes with each level you climb up.
Exactly, bro. That's pretty much the same point that and it just keeps climbing, and it gets higher, and then you reach the highest levels. You know.
Was having an agent necessary to signing professionally, or even coming to CV Fuego?
It's hit or miss, because I'll tell you a story about one of my closest friends from Pittsburgh. His name is Daniel Rivera. He still plays there right now. He's actually part of our A5 agency group, and he started off where he was in college. It was his junior year, and he'll tell you the story, so I'll be quick about it so I don't ruin it for everybody. But he had someone that said, "Oh, I got you an invite to Pittsburgh." Daddy was like, "Let's do it, bro. Let's go." And it was 4-hour drive, whatever. Comes by, bro. Coach likes him a lot, and he's a junior. He still has one more year of college. Coach ends up signing him with an agency, because that helped him to do that. So in that sense, I guess for sure an agency is good to get you situations. If an agent's good and he has connections, that's going to be good for you. And so his route was through an agent, like, boy, now you're talking about me and my route. I didn't have anybody at the time. Like you heard, I didn't have anybody. I didn't know anything about nothing. And I probably needed an agent, And that's when I went 2 years. So I played a full year with Pittsburgh. Didn't have until my I think the last part of my first year there. It was about maybe a month left. A5 Eric Antunes calls me. He goes, I'm in Loudon at the time. We're gonna play Loudon the next day. I'm in my house. We have at Loudon. You get your own little room. They're kind of small, but it's cool. You get your own. Everybody on the team gets their own place when we go there. He called me. I had a conversation with him for like 20 minutes. Seemed like a really good guy. And it's like, oh, we'll check the game tomorrow. We'll talk more. And obviously, I did well. I started that game. I got an assist. Things went well, And so then after that, signed with him, and from then on, bro, what's it called? Things have been. He's done a really good job for me, and I think for certain situations, I think when the longer you go in your career, the more you need someone to back you up in your corner. I think I want to say it's a must when you're first starting off. It'll help for sure. Like my friend, it helped him, and I'm sure it's helped a lot of people. And there's some guys like me that didn't have to go to get into it. Would have helped maybe, but we went through a little harsher path, but we found a way. And that's where it's tough to say if you need one or not in the beginning. It's just hard to say. But what I've learned, at least from my personal experience, the longer I've gone through my careers, or even like for my agent getting me my contract here, he did a really good job. He helped me a lot. He's a person that I talk to every 1-2 weeks, someone that I know has my back. And I feel like in that sort of sense, I'm really grateful to have someone like that and have a team, that we're building. The A5 agency, we're building a nice group of guys that I feel like are same mindset, good mindset, just workhorses. And I think that part about it, I feel like that's when an agency can be very good, and I think he's, like I said, he's been very good to me. The agency has been very good to me. So I would say, yeah, I mean, that's my opinion on it for sure.
Is there anything you want to tell the viewers before we end the video?
I mean, for the players that are young, I would say, and the players that are trying to make it to the professional world, I think it's probably the best time to do it. There's so many teams, so many people looking out for new players. It's just, are you willing to put the work in to be that player to get brought onto a team and sign a contract, And I think that's the best thing that I could tell anybody, if you're not going to go into details and be broad about it, just work hard, be open-minded, and don't stop believing in yourself. I would say with those, I think you have a really good chance of making it.
Well, thank you, Anthony, for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you for sharing. And on that note, we'll see you guys in the next video for the next interview. And I'll see you guys in the next one. JodabeniTV is out.
Oh, babe, you might just make me go crazy. Thinking about you like all day. I'ma need you like always.